His Excellency, Mr. Mbo, if you want to say something, please can you give some few words before we start this meeting?
sëñ Liss man naa la moom léegi moom like spectator la rek comme ñëpp member rek incha allah. All right, but thank you so very much, for the recognizing my presence here. And greetings, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you all. And it's a pleasure also to witness another great things, in store. Because as they said, the action plan is what will dictate what this executive want to achieve. So therefore, coming up, to ensure that you all put your voices together and to inform the people you are serving that this is what we want plan to achieve. This is what we want to achieve from now on, up to date, is something great. And I believe as they said, after the constitution, this action plan is the second most important document because you will see that whatsoever you put there, you will try to work hard, to get it done, and that will determine, how well how better, the association have gone, and then the welfare of the members. So therefore, I just encourage each and every one of us to participate. And whenever you have something that you believe that when it's added or removed to make it better, just give out your inputs, and I believe together we can make Gam-Ind greater. For us, we are now alumni, but inshallah, we'll be here always to support and to give our advice, and we'll be there and to render our service whenever needed. Thank you so very much. It's a pleasure joining you all. Jërëjëf.
Thank you very much, His Excellency, for those wonderful, wonderful words. Yeah, so I'll proceed with the presentation of the action plan. Is it visible to all of you? Please, can I get a thumbs up if the action plan is visible to all of you, please?
Mr. Vibi, could
Yes?
you, if you don't mind, could you please share it? I'm having issues with mine.
Okay. Okay, then give me a minute. Let me try and do that.
Okay.
Yeah, so is my screen visible to all of you? Is it visible? Mr. SG, I'm not seeing the reaction, so can you please
Yes, yes, it's visible.
okay. So the first on the action plan is the advisory board appointments and committee function. So this is the appointment of the PhD scholars and present former executives as advisory board members. Nomination of state alcalos, state representatives by state members, formation of standing committees, including education, logistics, social welfare, finance, and information communication. Yeah, so this is supposed to be in July, and yeah, it was leaded by the secretarial department. And for that one, I guess we all know for that one, it's already clear. We already did that one. The second one is the orientation and arrival support, which is the academic and cultural onboarding, airport pickups, accommodation, help, and peer mentorship for new students. Yeah, this will take a period of from July to September, which will be held by the which will be led by the Education and the Social and Welfare Ministry. So the third, we have registration of the association, that is continuing the efforts of the registry of registering the association in India. So for this one, we plan to see how best we can do it from this July to January. Yeah. So we all know the eight executives. They have really tried to register the association, and they have gone so far. So I guess this is just to continue it and try it and register it before January. Yeah. So the fourth one is the state level engagement, state dialogues forum. This is to promote inclusive participation and feedback mechanism through regional dialogues. Yeah, and this will happen from August to October, between August and October. Yeah, and it will be led by the Social and Welfare Ministry. Then the fifth is the monthly webinars. Yeah, this is a virtual session on health, career, entrepreneurship, and student wellness. This will happen monthly, and it will be led by the Education Ministry. The sixth one is the monthly newsletter and publications. The monthly newsletter, magazine contributions, and recognition of top contributors. So this will happen from August to June, meaning June of next year. And it will be headed by the Education, the Secretarial, and the Information and Communications Ministry. The seventh one is the Gam-Ind Bantaba. This is the online discussion platform with diaspora experts addressing Gambia-centric issues. This will also happen monthly, and it will be led by the Education, Secretarial, the host, Mr. Momodu Lamin. Can you please mute? The host, can you please mute Mr. Momodu Lamin? Okay, I'll just proceed. Yeah, the eighth one is the Saturday Constitution Awareness Series. Yeah, so for this one, we want to like share one article weekly to promote the understanding of the Gambian Constitution. Like every week, we will try and send one article in the Constitution, so that at least by the from August to June, before the ending of our quarter, we will have most of the Gambian members will maybe if not memorize the whole Constitution, but they will know the most important parts of the Constitution, and it will be headed by the Information and Communication Ministry. So the ninth one is the website management. Mr. Momodu Lamin, can you please mute? Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, so the ninth one is the website management. The website management team will be set for GAM-in members, especially those from computer science background. It will be headed by the Logistics Ministry. This team will finalize and maintain the official website. So this one too will go from August to next year, June, and it will be headed by the Logistics Ministry. And yeah, it is mentioned that those from the computer science background. So if you know that you are a computer wizard, or you know you are rich in computer skills, you can please come up. Even if you are not part of the executive, you can please, come up, and yeah, we will really appreciate your help with that. So the 10th one is the logistic equipment drive. So we want to acquire cameras, tripod, wireless mics, and tools for coverage and event documentation. So this one too, it's a campaign which will range from August to December, and it will be headed by the Finance, Information and Communications Logistics, because we see that for these equipment, Gam-In does not have their own, like the association doesn't have separate equipment which is owned by the association. Most of these equipment we use are owned by individuals, and some of these individuals will be going home, and they have to take their tools with them. So we want to acquire, have a campaign where we will acquire these materials so that we'll pass it on to the next executive that are coming, which will be owned by Gam-In. The association itself will be the owner of these tools. And next, our successors will pass it to them, and they can pass it, and it goes on. Yeah. So the 11th one is the Writers Clinic. This is the monthly literacy development programs for student writers and poets. This Writers Clinic will feature monthly motivational quotes that is sharing inspirational message to uplift students' morals. So this will go from August to next year, June, and will be headed by the Secretarial Information and Communications. So the 12th one on the action plan is the Financial Independence Initiatives. This will include fundraising initiatives. We will launch a roadmap to explore income generating projects for long-term sustainability. Added to this, we will be launching the Gambian's first ever Finance Week. So this will happen from August to January. That is the range, and it will be headed by the finance department. So the 13th is the digital feedback platform. We want to create a student portal for official queries, suggestions, and complaints. Yeah, so this one too will go throughout the year, and it will be headed by the educational and secretarial department. Man, this is just to get feedbacks from students or members of the community, the government community. Just to get it will be anonymous. Just sometimes there are observations that people will not want to say out loud, or they might not want to be on the spotlight and all that. But if it is anonymous, you guys can give your feedbacks, and we try and work on that as an executive. Yeah. So the 14th is the mentorship and mental health. This is structured mentorship system and mental health awareness, which include regular guidance on reviewing the EFRRO webinars and counseling support. Yeah. So this one too will be throughout the year, and it will be headed by the education department. The online and offline sporting events and interstate debate championship. This will be the third edition of the Gam-In Interstate Debate Championship. This will foster critical thinking and public speaking. Sports fosters unity and revives the Gambian spirit in us. So this one we usually have it during Diwali time. But all of this we already invested in all of that. So we are planning to have it from September to November. Yeah, and it will be led by the Education, Information and Communications, Logistics and Social Welfare Ministry. The sixth one is the Cultural Day, Gambia in India. This is a cultural exhibition during independence. Students will celebrating to promote the heritage and diplomacy. Yeah, so this will happen in our two events, the Independence and the Students Week. We want to have like a cultural day where it will be Gambian in India. This will be a specific day where everything we are going to do, it will be Gambian thing. So the food we are going to eat throughout the day will be Gambian food. Our dress code will be Gambian dress code. The events that day, like where we have our dramas, our cultural display. Sometimes what we usually do previously, we combine it in our events. But this one, we want to have it, like just Gambia, just the Gambian culture. No other event will be part of it. Gambe, Fini, Tech Attire, Felemele, all of that. So yeah. The 17th is the courtesy visit to the embassy. Yeah, the courtesy visit to discuss challenges, initiatives, and collaborations. So this will happen from December to January. We want to see December or January, and it will be headed by the secretarial department. Yeah, the 18th is the Independence Day celebration, celebrating of the Gambian's 61st Independence Day with performance, historical exhibitions, and embassy involvement. So these are February the 18th, and it will be headed by the Logistic, Social and Welfare Ministry. The 19th one is the Gam Diaspora Debate Championship. So this will be the second edition of the said championship, and it will also enhance the critical thinking and public speaking skills of Gam and diaspora community. So this we want to have it in the range from December to February. Yeah. So it will be headed by the Secretarial Education, Information and Communications Ministry. The 20th is the pre-departure awareness, like online campaign for outgoing students on documentations, embassy liaisons, and traveling trips. So this will happen from May to July, and it will be headed by the Education Department. The last one is the Students Week and Graduation. Yeah, so this will be a week-long activities including debates, quizzes, cultural exchanges, and formal convocation ceremony. So this will happen from May to July. and it will be headed by the Secretarial Logistics, Social and Welfare. Yeah, and note that the Presidential Department shall not spearhead any specific activity listed above. Instead, it should provide strategic oversight, coordinate all departments, ensure policy consistency, and offer executive leadership throughout the tenure of the 9 Executive Council. So, meaning the Presidential Department will just be overseers and oversee the affairs of the association. Yeah. So I guess that's it from my end. Thank you very much, SG. Back to you.
Yes, thank you very much, His Excellency. I guess the presentation of the action plan that the Nine Executive Council has for you was very, very clearly presented. And then with that, if we have any questions on that, we can save them for the question and answer session. And then I think now we'd like to present the conflict resolution policy by the Welfare Ministry. Do we have you here? Yes, you can go ahead with it.
Yes, David, let me just try to see whether I'll be able to display this. Is my screen on the visible?
Yes, yes, your screen is visible.
Okay, good evening to everyone. I will be introducing a crucial framework today designed to foster a harmonious and supportive environment within our community, which is the conflict resolution policy for all Gambian students that are in India. This policy outlines a structured approach for addressing and resolving disputes, ensuring that the conflict are managed constructively and fairly, ultimately and promoting academic success and personal well-being for all Gambian students residing or studying in India. This policy, this
Okay.
conflict,
Madam Welfare, your screen is visible, but it's not what you're presenting.
it's not showing.
No, let me try and present it myself. Can you see this one now?
Yeah, it's okay now.
Okay.
So the conflict resolution policy, we are going to start with, it encompasses some features like the introduction, the purpose of the policy and the scope, some guiding principles, different types of conflict, and conflict resolution mechanisms. And we also recommended that we formulate a committee and a reporting procedures, roles and responsibilities, and review and amendments by the end of the year. Now, this policy, it's not finalized yet. It is a draft that is brought forward to the entire student body. If you have any objection or recommendation that you think should be part of the policy, can be brought forward after the presentation. Now, first with the introduction, we have this conflict resolution policy outline a structured approach for addressing and resolving disputes among Gambian students residing and studying in India. Its primary aim is to foster a harmonious, respectful, and supportive environment within, within the Gambian student community, ensuring that the conflict are managed constructively and fairly, thereby promoting academic success and personal well-being. So the purpose and scope of this policy, first we have provide clear guidelines for students on how to address conflicts, promote peaceful and nonviolent resolution methods, ensure that all parties involved in a conflict are treated with respect and fairness. Minimize the negative impact of unresolved conflicts on individual students and the wider community, define the roles and responsibilities of various stakeholders in the conflict resolution. Then this policy applies to all Gambian students officially registered studying in India, conveying conflicts that arise within the student community, whether on or off campus. Then we have the guiding principles of the resolution. The resolution of the conflict The resolution of the conflicts under this policy shall be guided by the following principles. First, we have respect. All individuals involved in a conflict shall be treated with dignity and respect, regardless of their role or perspective. Fairness and impartiality. Resolution processes shall be fair, unbiased, and objective, ensuring that all sides of a dispute are heard and considered. Confidentiality. Information shared during the resolution process will be treated with appropriate confidentiality, subject to legal obligations and the safety of individuals. Voluntary participation. Wherever possible, participation in informal resolution processes should be voluntary. Then we have empowerment. Students will be encouraged to take an active role in resolving their own conflicts and developing problem-solving skills. Timeliness. Conflicts should be addressed and resolved in a timely manner to prevent escalation. Non-retaliation. No student shall face retaliation for raising a concern or participating in a conflict resolution process in good faith. Then we are going to move on to the different types of conflicts that are covered in the policy. First, we have interpersonal disputes. This is the disagreement between individual students, roommates, or groups. Then academic conflicts, issues related to a group project, shared resources, or academic integrity that involve other Gambian students. Social and cultural misunderstandings. Conflicts arising from differences in social norms, cultural practice, or expectation within the Gambian community or with the host country community. Financial disputes, disagreements over shared expenses, loans, or financial obligation among students. Then we have harassment and discrimination. Allegations of harassment, bullying, or discrimination based on gender, religion, political, ethnicity, or any other protected characteristic within the student's community. Misconduct. Behavior that violates the common welfare or safety of the student community. So from there, we have different mechanisms that were put forward in this policy. Then we have the first one, which is informal resolution. Students are encouraged to resolve minor disputes informally and directly whenever possible. Then we have direct communication. Parties involved should first attempt to communicate directly and respectfully to resolve the issue. Peer mediation. If direct communication is difficult, students may seek assistance from trusted peers, student leaders, or community elders within the Gambian students' body to facilitate a discussion. This is a voluntary and non-binding process. Then we have formal resolution. If informal resolution is unsuccessful or inappropriate for the nature of the conflict, formal mechanisms can be invoked. We have mediation by the student association or leadership, the Gambian Student Association or designated student leaders. which is the executive and the advisory board in India, can provide structured mediation services for conflicts that require a neutral third party process. A written request of mediation is submitted to the Social and Welfare Department or designated student leadership. The Gam-Ind leadership appoints a neutral mediator or mediators, who may be a student leader, a respected community member, or an appointed committee. The mediators will meet with all parties separately and or together to understand the perspectives and facilitate a mutually acceptable solution. Any agreements reached will be documented and signed by all parties. Then we have the grievance committee, which will also include some personnel of the embassy or the high commission. For more serious conflicts or those unsolved through mediation, a formal grievance committee may be convened under the oversight of the Gambian embassy. The composition of the committee: the grievance committee will typically comprise representatives from the embassy, then students' leaders, and potentially independent respected committee members. Those could be the alcaldes. A formal written complaint is submitted to the Social and Welfare. Sorry, I think this word is repeated. Okay, after the complaint is being forwarded to the Social and Welfare Department, it will be reviewed. If deemed appropriate, then the committee will conduct an investigation, which may include interviewing all parties, gathering evidence, and consulting relevant policies. That is, in the case of maybe the university's regulations. The committee will deliberate and issue recommendations or decisions for resolution. These may include disciplinary actions. It doesn't mean we're going to beat or sue anyone. Um, Restorative justice measures or other appropriate interventions. That is going to be guided by the Constitution. The decision of the grievance committee endorsed by the Ninth Executive Council shall be considered binding within the scope of the embassy authority and influence. Then we have reporting procedures. First, we are going to have initial report. Students experiencing or witnessing a conflict are encouraged to first attempt informal resolution. Then, formal complaint. If informal resolution fails or the conflict is serious, a formal complaint should be submitted in writing to the Social and Welfare Department or directly to the Ninth Executive Council. The content of complaint. A formal complaint should include these informations: the names of all parties that are involved, the date and location of the incident, a detailed description of the conflict, any evidence or witness attempts made at informal resolution, desired outcomes, emergency situations. In cases involving immediate threat to safety, violence, or criminal activity, students should first contact local Indian emergency services at their nearest location and then immediately inform the executive. Now we're going to move on to the different roles and responsibilities that should be played by both the students and the executives. Then the first one we have from the students' end: to engage respectfully in direct communication to resolve minor issues, to report conflicts promptly when informal resolution is not possible or appropriate. Then we have to cooperate fully with any formal resolution process, to ensure that they avoid religious debates and political discussions in public places, to abide by the outcomes of the resolution process. And the Gambian Students Association, these are the responsibilities that is expected from the Ninth Executive Council. The first one, we have to promote a culture of respect and peaceful conflict resolution process, to offer peer mediation and facilitate informal resolution, to provide guidance and support to students navigating conflict, to forward unresolved or serious complaints to the embassy, the Ninth Executive Council, or the Gambian High Commissioner in in India, to provide oversight and support for the conflict resolution process, to convey and supervise the grievance committee for formal resolution, to offer consular assistance and guidance, especially in cases involving local authorities and educational institutions, to ensure the welfare and safety of Gambian students. Educational institutions, where applicable, while not direct parties to this internal policy, students are encouraged to utilize their university's internal grievance mechanisms for issues directly related to the institution, and to inform the Social and Welfare Department for such processes for record keeping and potential support. Then we have confidentiality. All information shared during the conflict resolution process will be treated with utmost confidentiality on a need-to-know basis. Only individuals directly involved in the resolution process will have access to the details of the conflict. Exceptions to confidentiality may occur if there is a legal obligation to disclose information or if there is an David. Okay. Or if there is an imminent threat to the safety and well-being of any individual. So the last part, we have the review and amendment. This policy shall be reviewed annually by the Social and Welfare Ministry in consultation with the Executive Council in India and representatives of the Gambian student community. Amendments may be made as necessary to ensure its effectiveness, relevance, and alignment with the evolving needs of the students. So we are going to, when this document is finalized, we are going to put contact details of the Social and Welfare Ministry. Then we have the Executive Council, and then one of the committee members from the grievance policy. So this is the draft conflict resolution process. Like I said, it is not yet finalized, so inputs will be highly needed before we get to finalize it.
Yes, Madam Welfare, are you done?
Yes, Mr. David, that's all for the policy.
Yes, thank you very much. Because wherever individuals of different backgrounds can coexist, there will obviously be problems. So what matters is really how we solve these problems in the most efficient and effective ways. So we would thank the Welfare Department for this very vivid presentation of their conflict resolution plans. With that, we'll move on to the next on our agenda, which is to have the loan policy and budget presentation by our Finance Minister. Mr. Finance Minister, are you here?
Yes, I am available.
Oh, okay, sorry. Give me a minute. Let me present you. Is it visible to you?
Yes,
Yes, you can go ahead.
thank you. Good evening, everyone. This is Khadija Tujalo, Deputy Finance Minister. Today, I'm going to take you through the loan policy, and then I will invite Mr. Bakari Jana to take you through the budget policy. So we have, as a department or as a committee, we have sorry for that, the place is attacked. So as a department or a committee, we have come with some of these points that we want to introduce a new policy. We just like made some adjustment, though some of these things, some of the points were already there. I would like to take you through them. So we look at number one together. I think it is visible on your screen. So loan policy for the Association of the Gambian Students in India for the academic year 2025-2026. Point number one reads, any student who wants to take a loan from the association must submit an application stating the following. So point number one, you have to state your name, state, and the course that you are studying. The other point is reason for the application. Reason for the application need to be stated. Amount requested and accepted date of payment. Like which date do you expect to pay? Sorry, guys. Name of his or her guarantors must also be stated. And then the applicant's passport. You need to submit the copy of your passport if you want to take the loan. That is point number 1. Point number 2. For a loan amount below or equivalent to 5,000, the applicant must provide one guarantor. Like if your loan is equivalent to 5,000, you can only provide one guarantor. For a loan amount above 5,000, the applicant must provide two bona fide guarantors, which means you can only bona fide members of Gam-Ind can guarantee you 2 people. When we say bona fide, as people that are paying their subscription and they are part and parcel of the Association of Gambian Students in India. I hope that is clear. So a loan above 5,000, you need 2 guarantors, as I said earlier. Point number 3, the applicant must provide the guarantor's passport or any other legal document together with their written confirmation of guarantee. If you want someone to guarantee you, the person must submit the copy of their passport, and they should also write a letter, like confirming that they are serving as your guarantors. Point number 4, all guarantors must be bona fide members, meaning they must not have any subscription arrears. Like I said earlier, they must pay their annual subscription. Point number 5, a guarantor cannot guarantee a guarantor can only guarantee one applicant at a time. Like I cannot guarantee Ibrahim Mabo and then at the same time guarantee another person while the loan is still on. So you can only guarantee a person once at a time. They cannot guarantee another applicant until the previous loan they guarantee has been repaid. Point number 6, any individual, go down a bit, point number 6. Any individual cannot take a second loan within 3 months of the previous loan. For example, if you take loan for this month and then you finish paying the same month, you want to take another loan. Point number 7, all loans to be taken must be student related. So you can only take loan related to issues regarding students. Like you cannot take loan to start a business and so on. Student related issues are the only issues that we can take loan or we can give loan for. Point number 8, in case of any default by the applicant, the guarantor must be held responsible. If you are a guarantor, the person that you guaranteed, if the person could not pay, you will be responsible for that particular loan. Point number 9, if any individual cannot repay the loan by the due date, he or she must submit a written application to the executive seeking an extension with an explanation. For example, if I have a loan and then I'm supposed to pay this month, and then for some reason I won't be able to pay for this month, I need to write another letter explaining why I won't be able to pay, and then that letter should be sent to the executive or the department that is responsible. Okay. Point number 10, installment payment of the loan is allowed at least 25% of the loan amount. So, for example, if you take a loan and you cannot pay at once, at least 25% of the loan can be paid in installment. That is what we mean here. Point number 11, new students must pay back their loan together with the annual subscription. So we do have this issue, this problem with the new students, that is the new students. I think some of them are yet to come. Sometimes before you understand the system, it takes time, and then sometimes they need loan. So we can give loan to them, but they need to pay their subscription while repaying the loan that they took. This is a policy, and we have been like applying this since last year. So if you want to take loan as a new student, you're allowed to take, but if you are paying, you are going to pay with your subscription. I think I jumped a point. That is the medical issue. Like sometimes the amount of money, like the total amount that can be paid. Sorry, can you take me through? Thank you. So an individual can only take loan up to 10,000 rupees. But like if we have any medical issues, we can give up to 35,000 rupees. Because we all know India sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes we have like huge medical bills that we need to pay for, and then sometimes it takes time for us to gather all the money. So that is why we said like for medical issues, loan can be taken up to 35,000. So
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much from the
Sorry,
finance.
David. I'm not done. I'm sorry. I have some interruption. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
So these are the points that we have like put together. So I believe this is the first general meeting that we are having. If you feel that you want to add anything, you may please let us know. And then for now, this is the loan policy. We also develop, because we don't have enough time, so we may not like present everything here. We also have application form for the loan. We have developed a new application form, guarantors form, and then also the applicants itself, the people that want to take like loan. We have an application form for them. It is a new one, so we are going to discuss when we have time. So for now, I would like to call on Dr. Rijani if you are around to present the budget, the annual budget. Thank you very much, Mr. David, and I'm very sorry for the noise and all that. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. There's no issues with that. Can we have Mr. Bakri? Yes, Madam.
Sorry, I'm having problem with my on mute my laptop microphone. So I don't know. As Kadir, if you have the presentation, can you display it? Or SD you have?
Yeah, Mr. David is going to do that.
Yeah, the budget. Because my laptop is unable to on mute for the microphone.
All right, just give me a minute.
David, you may please display it for him.
Is it visible?
Yeah, okay. I hope it's visible to you all. All right, good night to you all. I think the finance minister is seriously engaged this night, so he contacted me to do the presentation for the budget. So I am Bakar Jana and part of the finance committee. So we did this preparation for the budget for year 2025, 2026. Yeah. So you will see the headline proposed budget from 1st July 2025 to 30th June 2026. So yeah, we have the item column, we have the budget for the year 2025, 2026. So, and the actual expenditures we did for last year, 2024, 2025. So you will see the columns like that. So the first in the, as per budget, we have the income. So under the income, we have, when you check the constitution of the association, so we have annual subscription where each member will pay 1,000 rupees. Each member should pay 1,000 rupees. So we budgeted for almost, we expected 120 people or more to contribute. So with 120 people, 1,000, that will be about 120,000 for the year. So previously last year, uh, it was almost 100 and is it 116 who contributed for the previous year. So, and there was arrears payments and prepayment was done also. Somebody paid in advance 1,000. So that's why you have 128,000. So the next is donation. Donation, we budgeted for 200,000. 200,000 because we want to engage, I think the last executive, according to what we have, is they wrote to some of these some people back in the Gambia, I think an organization also, but unfortunately they couldn't receive any donation from them. So, but this time we want to make a strategy to write to most of these people, and even try to have a contact in the Gambia that will go and engage them and communicate to them so that they can donate to us for our activities. So, which we expect around 200,000. So, for last year, it's only 25,000 we received from the embassy. That's the embassy in Delhi. Yeah. So the next is fundraising. Yeah, the fundraising we are expecting 30,000. So last year it was 15,436. So I think this fundraising was last year. No amount was very small, where the finance committee and the finance ministry uh, look for donation and the executive where they look for donation from the general members and the ex students from India where they receive this 15,000. So this one here also we want to go for fundraising. So we are expecting to have about 30,000 rupees. So the fourth one is sundry incomes. Sundry income in short, this means or these petty incomes you have. So last year we budgeted for 15. Last year we have 13,025. So this sundry income in short is during graduation, the graduates will be charged to pay amounts and maybe some other proceeds, small maybe. I think last year the executive do, have done some businesses with it and received some revenues. So in that, we expect to have 15,000. So we're expecting about, is it 365,000 income for this year compared to last year, 181,461. So they're almost the figure is double. So I think the executive general membership and even back home, the student we have there, we will need your support to have these incomes. So after the income, we expect to spend these incomes also. So you come to expenditure where you have financial aid to members. Yeah, so we expect to spend about 30,000. Last year it was 2,375. Yes, we know some people face difficulties when they are here in India. So sometimes they will explain their problems for the executive, but because of we don't have that finance in place, so the executive may not able to help them financially, but they can help them physically and spiritually. So, but at least if we can have our targeted income that we targeted 365,000, at least we want to spend 30,000 minimum. Sorry, maximum to our general members, maybe people that has problem that we can help. So the next one you have interstate championship. Last year, 590 was spent on awards. So this year, we target to increase it to over 6,000. Yeah. So the next is independent salvation. We target to spend maximum 25,000. And last year was 13,043 rupees was spent. So yeah, in the reason this which increment almost 100% or 90%, yeah, is because the students are complaining, members are complaining, maybe normally, we used to look for hosts, the university that will host us. When they host us, they will give us lunch, dinner, and everything, and give us accommodation also. But maybe sometimes, we are from Gambia. Because of the feeding, some people are not satisfied with the Indian food also. So we want at least to cater for ourselves some local foods. So that's why we do this increment this time, almost 90% increment. So the same student with graduation, last year was 32,000. Last graduation, we see some local food were catered for. So, and it was very interested. Whenever we cook local foods, people were very happy about it. So this year we budgeted for 40,000 uh, from previous 32,322. So the next is awards. So awards last year we spent 16,100. So we budgeted for 30,000. Yes, because according to uh, the previous record, we see that these awards are very expensive, and maybe the awards are increasing each year also. So that's why we increase the amount for award also. So the next is registration of the association. Yes, this, I think, last year was always a resolution passed by general members that the association should be registered. So the non-executive have it in their action plan that they will try to register the association. So instead, we try to budget 45,000 to register the association if possible. So the last on the list is the sundry expensive, the miscellaneous expensive. So maybe unbudgeted items, you can have it here. So last year was 10,908, and this year we budgeted for 30,000. So in total, the expenditure for last year was 75,000. This year we target to spend 206,000 rupees. So if you check with 365,000 rupees income and expenditure of 206,000, you will have a surplus of 159,000. So last year, 181,461 was the income and 75,000 was spent. So there was a surplus of 106,461. So this is the budget we have for this year to present to general members, and we like them to give their comments because we need to work together to achieve these dreams. Yeah. So, and this is the budget is not actual, so it depends on the income. That's why we have the incomes up. If we have this income, then we can spend this. If we don't have those income, I don't we cannot spend that much. So I thank all for your kind attention. Thank you.
Thank you very much from the Finance Committee. Well, is that all that there is to present from the Finance Committee?
Yeah, that's the question because I don't think we need to present the loan form and application guarantors form.
Okay,
Those one, yeah, I think you'll share that when it is concluded by the executive. Because,
all right.
yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much to the Presidential Department, the Welfare Department, and the Finance Department for gracing this occasion and bringing forward your plans and the policies you have for us. This brings us to almost the end of our meeting, but then now we move to the question and answer session. So if there are any questions from everything that has been presented, you may now ask your question. And please direct it to the individuals you're asking your question. Okay, with that, I'll conclude that the presentations were quite clear. Okay, Mr. Vivi.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. AG, for that. Please, to the general members, especially the state alcalos, we sent you the action plan, the draft action plan to discuss with your members. So in case where you know some members are not here, if you have any discussions, from the general members from your respective states, please kindly bring it forward, please, because this question and answer session is very important. Because this, man, this action plan is not fixed. All of these are drafts. We draft it so that you guys are going to, you guys are going to see to it and see whether it's favorable for all of you. If not, please tell us, because at the end of the day, we are here for you guys. The job we are doing is for you guys. It's not that we are just, using the association like that or using the funds like that. So please, we need feedbacks from you and responses. Please do that.
Can somebody please tell Jate her camera is on?
Okay, I think we've given enough time for contributions and questions to come in. Mr. VP, with this, I think we can proceed. The presentations were quite clear. It seems everything has been accepted by the general members. So, with this, the next on our agenda, we'll have the AOB. Mr. VP, would you like to come into that?
It will help us in a way that our media will be at least, maybe if not we are not getting money from it, but at least it will be sufficient that it can be out there, especially in the country. Because to be honest, it's very disheartening. Our followers are very low. Especially how many people are in India right now? If you go to our Twitter account, we have only 23 members who are following. Only 23 out of the whole company. And right now we know the social media platforms. Twitter is the one that is very on top right now. Because anything you tweet, anything the association does, everyone is gonna say it. So I don't see the reason why people are not following the association's media pages. I don't see any reason behind it. And at the end of the day, the association is here for you. We are representing you guys. If we have the visibility, if we have sponsors, we are not enjoying anything from it. Because remember, the executives are not getting paid. We are not enjoying anything from it. It's coming back to you guys. So to me, sometimes it's very discouraging or disheartening to see that even if we share some of these stuffs, even if we share it on the social media platforms, even likes, we cannot get likes from the association. Sometimes I just sit down and wonder, like, just to double tap from your phone, just to double tap. Even if you are not, some might say, okay, I'm not a social media fan. You don't understand that, but at least sometimes this is about the association. If you can share it for us, it will really help us. It will really help us. And the other thing too is we know Gambians, and we always say Gambians, to have something, you have to have connections. Gambia to have something, you have to have connections. So there are many people, there are many individuals in the Gambia. Maybe some of you might know them and they can help the association. Just because we are not part of the executive doesn't mean that you cannot play those roles. At least you can talk to them, family members, and anybody who you think who didn't fit that they can help the association. Tell them this is what they are doing. You know, this is what we are doing, and we need help and all of that. Through our this association visibility. After our interview, sometimes you talk to people, they'll tell you, oh, okay, this is what you guys are doing. We are really proud that you guys are doing this and this and that. And that's not our work. We are just you know we did not work for that right now. This nine executive did not work for that. It was the past executive. So kudos to all of them. From the eight executive going downwards, kudos to all of them. And yeah, before I conclude, I want to acknowledge the presence of our great ex-welfare minister. Yeah, Madam Manima, thank you very much for joining. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, that's all from my side, Mr. Isu. Okay.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much for those contributions. So, would the Information Ministry like to portray on what they said, or should we? Yes, you may come in. Madam.
Yeah. Good evening to you all. This is Isaac Shata, the Minister for Communication, Information and Communication. Yeah, on behalf of my ministry and media committee, I think Modulu is having a very important role in on maybe school issues or medical issues or what, how will you know that it's not going to spend money in business? What plans do you have in place? Like, all of those things. Because I might take the loan like any other person. I want to pay a medical bill, or I have issues at the school that I want to sort out. But then I have another plan. So I can bring fake documents. I don't know whether you are expecting documents or that this particular person is taking this loan and he or she is going to stand for this. Thank you. So regarding what the reason why the party is taking this
It's very difficult, definitely. Actually, we don't have, absolute mechanism in place, to determine whether the guy is taking this loan for this particular purpose or not. But if you look at the loan application form, we have indicated what we call like a person reason. That is, if you are taking the loan, you must mention the reason. So if you measure it in a case, we feel like it is not convincing, then the executive body will decide whether to accept the loan or to reject the loan. Then, other than that, I don't think we have any other mechanism. But that is why also we have state alcalos. So we will be working with state alcalos to help us to identify some of these things. For example, if you are applying a loan, sometimes when we don't trust you, we'll contact the state alcalo. Do you have any reason why this person is taking this loan? So those are the ways that we will try to use. But other than that, we don't have absolute mechanism to test because sometimes it's very difficult. Some of these things are very confidential. Yeah. So thank you.
Yes, I think we have one more person who wants to answer the question. Can we have Bakri, Mr. Bakri, please?
Okay, thank you, Azzy. Yeah, yeah, I heard you say the program is almost finished, but I think the executive has
But
presented the action
if
plan.
you want to take it, no, but I'll put that.
Mr. Flash,
But Captain, please mind.
I think Cham is whatever. Okay. I think we presented this action plan and the budget should be approved by the general members. So it's presented to them. So before we go, I think they should approve it or disapprove it or approve it with amendment. So before we close, I think we should have that. If someone can propose and second it, if or someone can say no, we don't approve this action plan or we don't approve this budget. Yeah, because the loan policy should be approved by the executive. Yes, maybe. And the conflict resolution should be approved by the executive. But the action plan and the budget should be approved by the general membership. So I think before we close, if not, we have to call another general meeting for them to approve this.
yes, Madam Asadi, you can come.
Yes, this one goes to finance minister again. You made mention of like stating your reasons for the loan. That is what is, I think you have that portion on the form. So, and you also talked about privacy. Now, if the applicant decides to just like reason for loan, like stated personal, so is it necessary to like dig into that? Yeah, because when it comes to medical issues, I think that one we can understand. But then I'm still asking, if the person stated personal instead of stating the reason, how do you tackle that one?
Yes. Okay. So concerning David, sorry for that. Okay. So
Yes, you can come in. You can come.
concerning about that one, we have a president and the vice president. So to them, no information is confidential. To be frank with you. So if you are applying, even though you said, I don't want to disclose it to people, but there is no way the president and the vice president they must know it. Yeah, so that but like for accountability, because a whole association you cannot just hide behind the word that privacy, and then you don't want us to know the reason. I don't know for all the other executive members and the general student bodies, but the president and the vice president must be aware of anything that is going, within the organization. Thank you.
Yeah, I think I can contribute to that. Yeah. You cannot apply for a loan of 30 or 35,000 and say confidentiality. No way. Yeah. Maybe it will the executive will treat it confidentiality, but you must tell them how you're going to spend that money. So there's no confidentiality in that when it comes to the executive. Yes, executive will make sure there is a privacy with the application form and your information, but they cannot take personal. That form, when you fill in an application form, no personal will be accepted. When you write personal, they will return your phone to you, and you put on the receipt because the policy is clear on it. Thank you.
Yes, thank you everyone for your contributions. But then now to the general body or the general students body. Now that you've seen all the presentations that have been done, and there have not been any queries, there have not been any questions, there have not been any comments, I would suppose everything has been accepted by the general student body. So with the idea of seconding that Mr. Bagari brought forward, I think that was the entire idea of the question and answer session. If nobody else brought questions, nobody gave any comments, it must mean that they accepted everything that was presented.
But it should be in the black and white. Somebody has raised the proposal and somebody seconded it. So that will be in record. And nobody objected it. So I think it should be raised that somebody proposed that the action plan is approved and adopted. So somebody also will raise and say, I objected for it. No, this is not approved. Or I seconded it. This is approved. So the same with the budget also. So I think with that, we will have that maybe Bakar Jana has proposed and Ibrahim Y.S. Jam has seconded this. And that will be in the record for any person who want to check the record. But with this, nobody proposed it, nobody seconded it. So that's what I understand about approval of reports.
Okay, thank you very much for your contribution. So can we have members to approve the reports brought forward by the Ninth Executive Council? Yes, Mr. Bakri, you can come in.
Okay. I, Mr. Bakar Jana, hereby propose the approval and the adoption of the non-executive proposed action plan for 2026, 2025, 26, 26.
Can we have anybody to second and propose the rest? Yes, Madam Isaac.
Yes, thank you very much. I seconded the motion, the approval, rather.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. I guess that leaves us with the proposal of the what, the loan policy, right?
No, the action plan.
Do you? No, I said. I guess that leaves us with how many
No,
are
no,
left?
we are left with the budget.
Yes, okay, the budget.
The loan policy that will go to the executive to do the final approval.
Okay, thank you, Mr. VP. Yes, Mr. Bao.
Thank you, Mr. SG. I, Abdullah Bao, here propose the adoption of the annual budget plan for the academic year 2025-2026 presented by the Finance Department.
Yes, thank you very much. And I, David SG, hereby second the proposal of the budget presented by the Finance Department for the 2025-2026 academic year. Thank you very much. I think this would now bring us to the closing remarks by the Vice President himself. Mr. VP, are you with us?